Hello, beautiful people. We are here to talk the season 3 finale of From. We are here for From episode 10. And of course, literally, my mic died. So I have to use, I pulled out this old mic. Mic, testing. I pulled out this old mic and I have to literally hold it in my hand. And if you're familiar with my channel, I like to flail my arms as I talk. So this is going to be a very interesting adventure to see if I can flail my arms and hold the microphone. But guys, please, if you are here, make sure you do all the things. Hit like on the video, comment down below, let me know your thoughts. All those things that help the algorithm. Also, make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you have your bell notifications on. And if you are inclined, make sure you check out channel memberships and all of the perks that I have over there. If you are interested in my From season 10 finale watch along, that is behind the paywall for channel members, as well as my initial thoughts and reaction to the From season finale. But these are my cohesive thoughts in this video, the thoughts that I have jotted down in my little notes. So let's get into it. We are going to start with Boyd and Kenny at the top of the episode, looking at a map, talking about trying to find Fatima. And we're talking about the last place she was seen, out at the shack. And baby, the way Boyd just avoids Kenny's question of what was she doing out there? What was she doing out there? And he is saved by the bell, or more so saved by his son Ellis, who comes in before he has to answer that question. And Ellis doesn't seem to be as dense as I thought when I was like, baby, bless you. Baby, dogs be sneezing. But Ellis wasn't as dense as I thought he was, because I was like, baby, everything about Elgin is screaming guilty. But you know what? Ellis actually did the smart thing, because he was out there in the woods alone with the man he thought stole his wife. And that's the time in the horror movie where the dumb character confronts the killer by themselves. No, baby. Ellis went to go get some backup, as he should. And he goes to tell them, I think Elgin knows. He knows where Fatima is. He goes to tell Boyd and Kenny that, Elgin is talking about how Fatima is fine and that she's out doing something important. And he just seems so calm about it. So Boyd ends up telling Kenny and Ellis to go up to Colony House and make sure Elgin doesn't leave. And Boyd goes to get my girl Sarah. Now, baby, Sarah have unite. I've been saying it, and I've been saying it, Miguel. I have been saying that Sarah is the MVP. I have been saying it, that I love Sarah. And baby, Sarah came through this episode, but we ain't even there yet. Boyd goes to Sarah and he's like, I need you to come with me. It's Elgin. He's been acting strange. I need you to tell him that if something in this place is talking to him, its intentions are not good. You of all people know that. Baby, the way Donna busts up out Colony House when Boyd and Sarah gets there talking about what the hell is going on. Ellis and Kenny are inside saying Elgin can't leave. Baby, why don't you ask Ellis and Kenny? Why did you run out here running up on Boyd? Baby, Boyd tells her, I need you to clear the house. And I would really love to know what they told these folks about why the hell they had to get out of their own home. Because this is technically them people's home, and I would really like to know what they told them to make them exit stage left. But we end up having Donna, Boyd, Sarah, Ellis, Kenny as Elgin is coming out of his room with the bag and heading downstairs as if he don't see this whole crew of people right here staring at him. He just la-di-da-ing past them. But baby, we are having a From intervention. Okay, Boyd asked Kenny to watch the door, and the way we were keeping Kenny out the loop the whole episode, is it because he been running around with the cop? I think it might be because Kenny been running around with that cop. He ain't in the circle no more. He is out the loop. Baby, the way Boyd go looking through baby bag, he just went looking all through Elgin bag, and I loved it. I was here for it. And Boyd is like, it looked like you got some supplies for a couple of days. Where was you going? But then we actually get into it. We get into it. Elgin goes to say, she told me not to say anything. I know how much you all care about her. But I really felt like he felt like a sociopath when he turns to Ellis and he's like, well, you told me about your mom. The way I would have been like, don't mention my mama. Don't mention my mama. But Elgin just goes into like, I can't even imagine what you're going through. I wanted to help. I don't want to hurt anybody. Like, you have to understand what's happening is a good thing. I did not understand why nobody picked up on. She told me not to say anything, but baby Donna does. And she says, you said she told you not to say anything. Who is she? I know it sounds crazy, but I think she's an angel. How the hell you think that dead come on old lady look like a damn angel? I don't know what kind of angels you was raised with, but baby, she do not like no angel to me. But he goes to say she's an angel. She's here to help us. Fatima baby is going to save all of us. And I really was just hoping to see Elgin with egg on his face. I was really hoping to just see him looking stupid when he sees that, no, baby, she was manipulating you. She was lying to you. You cannot trust anything here. They are trying to talk to Elgin, and I was really not here for it. I'm like, baby, y'all need to start busting his head. But we gonna get there. But Sarah goes to say, you remember when you first got here, I told you I killed my brother. There were voices here that told me if I killed a little boy, we would all get to go home. This place, it doesn't give, it takes. And this is why I have always caked for Sarah, because it's not like Sarah is evil. It's not like she literally was manipulated by the From. It got in her head, which it can do. I've always said it literally could happen to anybody here. And now it has happened to Elgin. But she legitimately thought if she did this thing, it would, have everybody go home. But baby, the way we sit here talking and having this little Ayana, let's have a breakthrough, we got to do the work moment. Ellis run over and try to jump on Elgin. And I was honestly here for it. Ellis is useless. He don't do nothing. This is the first time he done ever tried to do any little thing. But I was with Ellis. Like, F this fool up. I'm not here for the talking. Like, we need to be busting heads. Like, we don't have time for this. Trying to, like, break through with him. You know how long that might take? But Sarah goes to say, I know what it's like to have this place in your head. And if he truly believes this will save everyone, he's never going to tell you where she is. This is once they are all outside of the room. Once Ellis kind of lose it. So once Sarah says that, Boyd is like, Donna, where you keep the tools? Donna, where you keep the tools? And I was like, baby, is Boyd really finna do this? He goes to tell them, stay by the door. Elgin doesn't come out. No one goes in. And really all I was thinking was, baby, he could jump out the window. Like, I'm sure he could hear y'all through this damn door talking about you about to go get the tools. And we have seen Victor, them, like when we have had stuff happen at Colony House, they done jumped out of top floor windows. Like, I'm like, baby, he can get out the window. Ain't no burglar bars on the windows. Like, he ain't no screen on the window. I just knew that all the time we took, because baby boy go to the shed and Father Cartry, dead Father Cartry pops up, and I just felt like we were spending so much time in there talking to Father Cartry and picking out every tool. And I'm like, how many tools you need, baby? If you don't just get one good tool and go back in there. Matter of fact, we could have just went to the kitchen. But all the time we took, I really legitimately just knew that Elgin wasn't gonna still be in there, because, well, who the hell would be in there? Like, I'm telling you, baby, you could hear through that door. Like, you could hear them. But dead Father Cartry is just going on and on about, boy, do you really want to do this? You walk around here like you're some noble sheriff, knight in shining armor, but you're no different than anyone else. And I just kind of feel like, baby, we got to get in the mud. Like, we got to get dirty. We look what we are up against. Like, you got to have a little darkness to fight the darkness. And dead Father Cartry goes to tell Boyd, like, you said you weren't going to let this place break you. If you do this place has won. No, the place ain't win. The place gonna win if Fatima have the demon baby. Like, I don't know. I just felt like, I have always said I don't really trust dead Father Cartry. I just feel like the From manipulates the same way that the From has Thomas, has Jim dead son calling him. The place could just have dead Father Cartry appearing to Boyd, but it's not actually Boyd. Because I really was feeling like, why the hell dead Father Cartry keep popping up trying to stop him? Because even when Boyd goes into the room, dead Father Cartry pops up. And I'm just like, no. Torture him. But Boyd comes back into Colony House with a huge bag. And I'm just like, Boyd, baby, we did not need this whole damn tool sack. Like, it was just so insane. But he goes to tell everybody, no one comes upstairs. What happens next is on me. And Kenny is the one that is outside of the room where Elgin is. I think it was Donna's room they went into. Everyone else is downstairs. So the last person that Boyd comes across is Kenny. And I'm sorry, did I say Elgin? I meant to say Kenny. Kenny is outside the door. But Kenny goes to say, Boyd, we should talk to him again. Like, he's a good kid. But I'm going to be honest, I was kind of annoyed. Like, where was all this grace when it came to Sarah? Where was all this she was a good kid? Like, where was all this grace? Like, literally, there is no difference between Elgin and Sarah. Except, I guess, Elgin ain't walking around killing nobody. But you might as well put Tilly death on him. Like, I don't care. Put Tilly death on him. Like, but I don't know. I guess they ain't the same. You know, Elgin do say that later in the episode, child. He said him and Sarah ain't the same. But I feel like they ain't the same damn boat. Boy, go to tell Kenny, look, little baby, I'm not listening to you. Fatima is out there maybe running out of time. Baby, why? Boy, go into the room and Elgin is sitting there. Like, this dumb is still sitting here. Like, I just knew that he could hear them and we was going to open the door and he wasn't going to be there. I just knew that's where we were going. So Elgin is going to tell Boyd, because Boyd is making a whole show of this. And I was just really sitting here like, baby, if you don't just get to the torture, like, what are you doing? But, you know, presumably Boyd was just trying to put on a show, hoping he could intimidate Elgin into just telling him. But baby, when somebody believes like strongly in their convictions, you kind of motherfucking break them. Like, this little show of force was not about to do anything. But Boyd was literally taking so much. He was pulling one tool out at a time, sitting it down on the table. Baby, I thought you just told Kenny that Fatima out there possibly running out of time, but you got time to lay down one tool at a time. Like, come on now. Elgin goes to say, I can't tell you. I wish I could, but I can't. Baby, the way Boyd goes to say, oh, I understand. You need to do what you need to do. And now I need to do what I need to do. And he like dropped the bag of tools, make all this noise, shaking the tools around. I'm just like, boy, if you don't just cut his finger off or like pull out his fingernails or something, like, go ahead, boy, go ahead. Now, while we are setting up the tools, that damn Goosebumps Say Cheese and Die camera goes off. And the way I was sitting here like, boy, please break that damn camera. Like, please. But Elgin is like, that's how she sends me messages. I think she wants to talk to you. I wanted Boyd to literally just break the camera and continue on. Like, don't even feed into it, especially since we're trying to tell this boy that he can't trust anything from this place. Why wouldn't we just, like, I wouldn't even indulge it. But no, Boyd goes to grab the damn photo. I was so annoyed. But Elgin, who is about to freaking get tortured, is all like, please, can you tell me what's in the picture? Please tell me. I'm saying, like, baby, you got bigger fish to fry. Boyd does end up telling Elgin what it's a picture of. And it is actually a picture of the house that him and his wife bought when he retired. It is where they were on the way to when they ended up stuck in the From. Now, Elgin read it as, oh, she's trying to tell you, you know, she's trying to show you going home. I really felt like, no, baby, she's laughing at you, Boyd. Like, that's how I felt. But I gotta be honest, in this scene, I was kind of torn between like wanting Elgin to be tortured and beat, but also just wanting him to not get tortured. Like, I really just wanted him to just look stupid, because that's the thing. I feel like I can't stand the character of Elgin, but in my defense of Sarah, I kind of feel the same way with Elgin. Like, it's not like they're evil people. It's not like they want to do bad things. Like, they're just being manipulated. So it's not like Elgin deserves to be tortured. So as much as I was here for some torture, just because I was just here for some kind of action in the episode, I was kind of like, I don't really want him to get tortured. I just truly just want him to look stupid when he discovers that he's been played. But what I thought was crazy was we have Elgin tied to the chair with like this teeny look like floss. Like, it literally looked like he was tied up with a long string of floss. Like, it was so thin, like such just a thin string. I'm like, Elgin can't get out of that. Like, I feel like Elgin should have been able to just literally just hop up and just but you know, he's the Kool-Aid man. He you know, just jolly. I guess he can't. But Boyd is like, you put, you know, he grabs like, I think it was a hammer. You took someone I love, you put them in danger. I'm gonna hurt you until you tell me. Dead Father Carter appears, judging Boyd, And Boyd is like, where is she? Put your hand on the table. Put your hand on the table. And I gotta be honest, I did not know I didn't think Boyd was going to go all the way with this. But Boyd actually ends up torturing Elgin. And Elgin is like screaming at the top of his lungs. You can hear it like through the house as everyone is downstairs. Boyd basically is like smashing his hand with the hammer, putting his hand on the little table that he pulled in front of him. But this next thing really irked my nerves, because why Elgin is screaming as the cop walks in like, hey, did anybody find Fatima? We got like 3-4 people down there. How in God's name do they let this cop run past them up the stairs? Baby, y'all had one job, and it was to make sure no one comes in. And it's not like she this big, like, strong, like she could strong arm people. I just was like, how did y'all let this happen? Like, that was so irksome. We should not have even let her get near the stairs. Like, truly. But of course, she goes in. What is going on? And Boyd is like, you don't understand. Explain it to me. Who the stops in the middle of torture to explain something to someone? And especially someone who you don't owe any type of explanation. Like, this pissed me off so bad. Like, who is this lady? I was really watching this scene like, Boyd, if you don't just toss her down the stairs or hit her with the hammer. Like, it just didn't make any logical sense to me that we're going to take time to try to explain anything to her. Of all people, we're trying to explain something to her. So everyone exits, goes downstairs into the kitchen, except Sarah. They leave Sarah alone in another part. I think she's somewhere. I don't know, child. Like another room in Colony House. But Donna, Ellis, Boyd, the cop, Kenny, we're all in the kitchen. And the cop is, being obnoxious and annoying as she is, judging them for what's going on. And Ellis is like, he knows where Fatima is. But I was just like, why are we explaining anything to her? Like, tie her ass up too. But she goes into like, there's a right way and there's a wrong way. So I went, boy, you got all the answers. Tell me the right way to do. Oh, of course she don't know the right way, but she just know it ain't this way. But I really feel like this cop is going to be a problem. The fact that she's still wearing that this cop still wearing that cop uniform not only irks me, but I feel like it speaks to her attitude and how she wants this power and this authority. That's why she is so gung-ho on like being in the mix of the people that are kind of, but the people that are in charge and pretty much running things. She know they're keeping something from her. She wants to be I'm useful. You could utilize me. I think she just wants power and authority. Like, any typical cop. That's why we keep having her in this uniform. While all of this is going on in the kitchen, the true MVP, Sarah, goes upstairs into the room. And I was like, baby Sarah, lock the door. Because I know you the true G. And I know you about to get ish done. Elgin is crying. He's still tied up. And Sarah is going into, which I feel like everything Sarah said was like the best dialogue of the entire series, season. But Sarah is like, when I first saw you in the church, my heart broke for you. I thought to myself, he seems so sweet, so kind. I was like that once. And she goes on to say how she thinks that her and Elgin are exactly what this place looks for. People who just want to help. Because it is very interesting that the two people who get manipulated into doing the From's bidding are two of the most like docile, nice people here, like the unsuspecting people. Like, you would never expect Sarah or Elgin to do anything diabolical. But I freaking lived for Sarah saying, and it was like Sarah was talking and the camera like panned to like a tool on the floor, but Sarah said, boy doesn't understand how far he needs to go to make you tell him. Baby picks up I think it was a screwdriver. I'm not good with tools, y'all. I think it was a screwdriver. I'm just calling it a screwdriver. Anything that got like a little long end, I'm just calling it a screwdriver. But she goes to say, he's a good man. And this place has taken so much from him. I won't let it take his soul. But I loved when Sarah says, I've already given it my... Oh my God, y'all. I was living for this dialogue. Like, baby, why we ain't get dynamic writing like this the whole season? But I ain't even finna get into that. because I want to stay on a positive note in this video, but I just loved it. Boy doesn't understand how far he needs to go to make you tell him he's a good man, and this place has taken so much from him. I will not let it take his soul. I've already given it mine. Sarah said, babe, I done already sacrificed my soul. Like, I've already given my soul to this place. I'm not going to let Boyd take it. And I actually love, like, the bond and love that has developed between Boyd and Sarah. I think Boyd truly cares about Sarah. I think Sarah truly cares about Boyd. And I just love to see it. Baby, when I tell you, they cut and you see everybody in the kitchen and you just hear Elgin screaming. When I tell you, the way Elgin was screaming was way worse than he was screaming with Boyd. And I was like, yes, baby, Sarah getting it done. And all I kept thinking as everybody was rushing to the stairs is, please, I hope Sarah locked the door, because, girl, I need you to get it done. Baby, Sarah ain't need to lock the door because Sarah ain't need much time. Baby, Sarah was a G. Sarah got straight to it. I absolutely loved the scene when everybody rushes in. And we see Elgin missing an eye, and all Sarah says is, she in the root cellar. Like, mic drop. Like, I got the ish done. Like, I love that so much. Y'all run around here playing games, pitty-paddling around, making a show of all the tools, trying to explain ish to that insignificant cop. And baby, Sarah went up there, and in 2.5 seconds, Sarah say, she in the root cellar. She in the root. Like, I loved it. I love that so much. Sarah is a true MVP, and you will never make me hate Sarah. Sarah Hive unite, okay? Sarah is the true MVP. Sarah is triple double G. Now, of course, we have to get to Fatima. At that point, they know that, you know, where Fatima is. But let's get to Fatima in the episode. We pretty much spend the episode seeing Fatima kind of like groaning in pain. She goes to unbutton her dress. You can see something moving inside of her. Fatima goes like banging on the door, screaming, help me. There's a jar of blood that Elgin left there for her to drink. But I'm really putting a lot of this blame on Fatima, because, baby, you could have just starved whatever was in you. You didn't need to be drinking that blood. But she goes like toss the jar of blood. And I really thought when she tossed that jar of blood that whatever this like craving, she says it's like so strong. I thought once the blood was like, the jar was broken and you could like smell the blood, because I'm pretty sure she could smell it. Like, if you craving it, if you like vampire and you like want blood, I thought she was literally about to be licking the blood and like cutting herself with the glass. Like, I thought she was really finna do something. No, she goes to pick up a shard of glass, and I'm thinking she finna either like slice her own throat, like do something so this baby, like, if I can't be rescued, I'm at least gonna take out the demon baby. Why she just go to like slice her stomach a little bit? And I'm saying, like, girl, you playing. Like, girl, you playing. Either you are about it or you're not. Like, what was that supposed to do? What was she slicing her stomach for? I was like, baby, you need to stab your stomach or slit your throat. Like, you need to just go all the way with it. I'm just like, baby, you playing. I just really needed Fatima to commit. I needed her to go all the way. I'm just like, baby, you playing. You playing. Go all the way with it, or just don't even make an attempt. But of course, the dead kimono lady comes. She's like, stop. She goes to grab Fatima, saying, how strong is this damn dead kimono lady? Because she just be strong arming Fatima the whole damn time. But she's like, stop. She grabs Fatima, puts the glass to Fatima's neck. It's coming. And Fatima's water breaks. And we see Kenny, Ellis, Boyd run into the root cellar as we are simultaneously seeing Fatima giving birth with the dead kimono lady, who appears to not only be a dead kimono lady, but a midwife as well. And as Fatima is giving birth, the trap door is opening, the one she was trying to pull open, and they get into the root cellar, but of course it's a hidden room, and they're kind of just looking, but then they hear Fatima yelling. The baby comes out, but it's like a whole sack comes out. The dead kimono lady grabs it, goes underground. Kenny, Boyd, Ellis come in, and Fatima's like, she took it, you know, she took the thing, you know, down there. Baby, why is Fatima not dead? Like, let's be for real. Why is Fatima not dead? I think it is such a cop-out for the writers to not have Fatima, like, just have her, like, literally, she was just a surrogate. Like, she was just, whoever was the surrogate for Kim K, that's pretty much Fatima. Fatima was just a damn surrogate. Like, no repercussion. I just don't understand. How do you give birth to a whole demon, baby, creature, monster, have been eating rotten vegetables, drinking blood. Like, you literally gave birth to the, like, the seed of Chucky. Like, how in the world do you give birth to like this demon and literally no repercussions? Like, nothing happens. I just think it's a cop out. I think it's a cop out. I wanted whatever demon she was giving birth to kind of like literally rip its way out of her, like have her like die during the birth. It just is such a cop out to me that she literally is unscathed. And it's like, well, Elgin was right. She perfectly damn fine. Like, y'all could have just left Elgin eye alone. Like, y'all could have just left his polar eye and his polar hand alone, because literally nothing happened to Fatima, like, at all. It was just such a cop out for me. Like, now, Boyd goes to tell Kenny and Ellis to get Fatima back to Colony House. He needs to see like whatever it is that she just gave birth to, because he doesn't want them to be blindsided by this place again. So Boyd ends up going down below, and we're following Boyd as he's going down. And I was truly saying, like, baby boy, why are you holding that? Like, the gun does nothing. But I guess maybe it gives Boyd some kind of sense of, I don't know, safety or comfort or something. But while Boyd is down there, we have Kenny, Ellis, and Fatima up above. And Fatima is telling Ellis, I saw them. I saw what they did. Those things that come out at night. I saw what they are. They sacrificed their children because it promised them that they would live forever. Pretty much what Victor told us that the boy in white told Christopher about the origin of the creatures. Now, down below with Boyd, we see all of the creatures gathered together. The kimono lady is holding the little sack in the middle, and it goes to like grow and grow and get bigger until something rises up out of the sack, a fully grown man. It is the creature Smiley. And I gotta be honest, I feel like it was very anticlimactic. Now, I don't know if it was anticlimactic because someone spoiled it for me, so I knew that, you know, before it happened, that Fatima was giving birth to Smiley. But I just kind of feel like everything that has been built up with, we spent so much runtime watching Fatima this season. Seeing her moaning and groaning and being pregnant and acting out of character, getting mad and all this kind of stuff, and eating rotten vegetables, stabbing Tilly, being held. Like, it was so much time spent and emphasis on Fatima and her phantom baby. Like, what was Fatima turning into a creature? Was Fatima giving birth to a creature? Like, there was so much spent just for it to be Smiley. Just for her to come out unscathed. Like, now, of course, this answers questions for us, because now the question of can the creatures be killed is obviously answered. No, they can't be killed. They're just going to impregnate some random woman, because we have no rhyme or reason why it was Fatima, but they're just going to impregnate a woman and get birthed again. So that answers that of whether or not they can die. With the whole Fatima situation, I also just feel like too many characters have plot armor. I just feel like we haven't had any like high stakes characters die. Of course, I love Tom. I love Father Cartry. I love T-Chin. But we haven't had any main, like, we have too many characters with plot armor. You know, it has always felt like the whole Matthews family has plot armor. It feels like obviously Boyd is going to have plot armor because he's pretty like much like the central character. But I just can't, like, we couldn't take out Ellis or Fatima. Like, I don't know. I just feel like too many characters have plot armor to the point that I feel like 3 seasons in, I just personally feel like there aren't any real stakes. Like, nothing's really going to happen to any central characters. Of course, we have something with the Matthews family that we will get into later. And speaking of, let's get on over to the Matthews family. We have Jim, Tabitha, and Jade, who pretty much spend the entirety of the episode together. We have Tabitha and what this is what I thought was interesting though. Victor is coming out of their house. Ethan and Jim are walking up. Victor goes to say your mom fell down. The way Jim literally ran, left his son, and went out. But I don't know. I thought that was crazy. Like your son's mother, he was just told his mother fell down. Like she could be hurt, and you just ran and left your son. I don't know. I thought that was crazy. But anyway, we have Jim and Tabitha, and she's telling him about what happened with her, seeing Miranda. She's like, I can't explain it. And Jim was like, so you had a vision? And I really felt like Jim was still trying to rationalize, like it's not a vision. She was trying to say, like it's more than a vision. It's like Miranda was there. She was trying to tell her something. So we end up having Jim, Tabitha, Jade spending the episode trying to solve the mystery of what is it Miranda was trying to show Tabitha, and also trying to break the code of the numbers in the bottle tree. Ultimately, Jim goes to say, he says that they're music notes, like, the numbers. So we put that together. So we end up where Jade is putting everything together and he starts humming a song he's never heard. So I absolutely was here with Jim when he's like, wait a minute, do we think we should be doing this? But baby, what did not make any sense at all was we're having the conversation of whether or not, like all the stuff that happens in the From, there are a lot of things regarding music that happens in this place that isn't a good thing. Okay, Jim is telling them like, wait, like stop, I'm not so sure this is a good idea. Like we have a song that you've never heard that is magically appearing in your head. Everything, that happens in this place, like this place is trying to manipulate us, it's trying to hurt us. Are you forgetting what Boyd said about, we had the haunting music box that nearly killed everyone. We have the jukeboxes in a diner that turn on by themselves. Music and this place does not mix. Baby, when Tabitha said, well, maybe we shouldn't play it here in town. Maybe to be safe, we should go into the woods. Excuse me? It's all the From. Like, I thought this, baby, they might as well have just played it right here in the damn bar. And Jade is like, well, what's the blast radius on the evil song? Like, I don't know if going to the woods gonna do any good. No, it's not. This was dumb. Like, this was literally dumb. This was the one time where I was like, you know what? Hell done froze over because I'm with Jim. I'm with Jim all the way. Now, Tabitha, Jade, Jim decide that the numbers were in the bottle tree. Maybe we should go play the music over by the tree. So Jade is playing the violin. Remember, of course, he knows how to play the violin. He used to steal. This is Victor's mother's violin, Miranda. He used to steal it all the time. So Jade is playing the violin, and I actually enjoyed the way we had the music playing over the scene of like Kenny, Ellis, and Boyd running to the root cellar. I kind of like how they did that. But we have Tabitha, Jade, and Jim, and the little Scalawag and Cooey kids pop up. And the way I thought these kids were going to finally say something besides and Cooey, especially because earlier in the episode, Jade was fussing at them. Like, if y'all want our help, can you stop being so motherfucking cryptic? But literally the little girl walks up, she's like, Aunt Cooey. And all of a sudden, even though we've heard this word quite a bit, presumably because of the effects of the song, Tabitha and Jade now remember what Aunt Cooey means. I don't know what the hell language this is, but apparently it means remember. And Jade and Tabitha discover that they have been here since the beginning. And presumably the beginning, of course, is when everyone in the town sacrificed their children. And I thought we would get the revelation that Jade and Tabitha sacrificed their kid, went to sacrifice their kid, and I don't know, maybe didn't go all the way through with it, but their child died. And now it's like Groundhog Day for them, but more like instead of day life. And they're forced to like kind of keep reliving and being reincarnated until they can save their child. But apparently they did not sacrifice their child. But I'm a little unclear on this. We made a deal with some evil, to sacrifice our kids. That's the price for us to live forever. Which I'm like, what kind of deal was this? Because we live forever, stuck in this town, living in tunnels, and we can only come out at night, and we rip people apart. Baby, what kind of life is this? This is what y'all wanted? Y'all kids was cheap. Like, y'all paid a cheap price. Like, this is what y'all wanted. But somehow Jade and Tabitha didn't willingly sacrifice their child, but their child was killed. It's just everything with the town sacrificing their kids is just a little unclear for me, because for one, the number of kids that were laying on a slab and the number of creatures, did everybody only have one child? Was everybody in a couple? Like, each couple only had one child? And if the price for my immortality is my child, why was Jade and Tabitha's child killed if they didn't sacrifice her? But Jade goes to say it means remember, we tried to save them. And of course Tabitha says the number one line the writers like to write for her: no, I can't. And she literally runs off. And Jim is sitting there confused, like, what just happened? Of course Jim can't see the Nkui kids. And when Jim is like, what happened? Jade says, we used to sing them lullabies. The way I understood Jim's frustration, like, I'm finally on your side. I'm finally trying to be a team player. Y'all have took me through this whole thing, and now you have the nerve to just run off. Like, I don't even know what's happening. I just feel like this was so unfair. And even when Jay's response, we used to sing them lullaby. Baby, what are you talking about? Like, I just felt for Jim. I feel like they talk so in such a frustrating way in this scene. Like, Jim has no idea what is happening. So after he gets that cryptic response from Jay that he don't understand, Jim ends up going off after Tabitha. And Tabitha says, I know why I see those children, why Jade can see them. It's why there's more than one bracelet. I kept making them. Again, Jim has no idea what you're talking about. But Tabitha goes to say, me and Jade have been here before. I was Miranda, Jade was Christopher. We've come back over and over again because we failed the first time, because one of them was ours. She was our daughter. And see, that's why I'm a little confused. Of course, I feel like it has been long speculated. We all said Jade was Christopher. I know some people were saying that Tabitha was Eloise. Some people were saying she was Miranda. But we have already, pretty much a lot of us been speculating the whole being reincarnated thing. But saying that one of the kids that were sacrificed was their daughter, that throws me, because how can your daughter be sacrificed? Like, the deal is I get immortality and the price is my child, so why was your child killed? But I felt so bad for Jim. Like, I feel like my head would be spinning if I was Jim. Tabitha is just kind of like, I can't do this, like, I need time, I need space, and she just walked the hell off. I'm just like, girl, please. But we also have to get into Ethan and Julie this episode, where Julie goes to tell Ethan about what really happened when she went to the ruins. And I thought this kind of didn't make any sense. Her brother was just going through all kind of guilt because she asked him if she should go in the ruins, and he said yes, and then she fell out and all that happened. And so now she turns around and asks him again, should she go back to the ruins? But this is when she is telling Ethan what happened about seeing, their mom in a tunnel with Victor and all kind of stuff. And this is when Ethan goes to tell her, you're a story walker. When she goes to say, well, I can save T. Chin, I can save Thomas, Ethan is like, no, it don't work like that. You can't change the story once it's been written. But of course we know that she's going to try to change things. I mean, I just feel like that's just evident. Anybody presumably would. If you can time travel, why not? Or time travel in a way. But we end up later seeing Jim off in the woods by himself over towards that RV. And this is when we hear Julie like, Dad, can you hear me? Like, he's like, Julie, I'm over here. The way I was like, who the hell is this girl? I thought this was a trick, and she was the one that was finna pop up and kill him. Because I'm like, baby, why is Julie hair short? Like, this don't look like her. She also had a scar on her face. Like, it looked like she had been through something or was in a fight or something. But Julie runs over. It is actually Julie, and she's like, Dad, you have to run, we need to get to town, like, it's not safe. I think this is when it happened. And per usual, Jim ain't I just kind of feel like, baby, if she say, well, we need to run, we need to get, baby, let's just do it. And then once we get to safety, we'll ask some questions. But this is when a man in yellow appears, and I think this may be the guy in yellow that Miranda drew. When we were looking at all of her drawings in the basement, there was a picture of a man in a yellow suit. And he appears and he's like, that was a hell of a song. The way Jim pushed Julie, like pushed the baby and told her to run, that's the only time I'm here for any type of aggression towards your child. Yes, baby, get out of here. Like, you go and be safe at least. This creature is like, this didn't have to happen. You know, knowledge comes with the cost. I tried to warn you. And when he goes to say your wife shouldn't have dug that hole, I was at my initial knee-jerk reaction was like, we're back here again? Like, nothing even came of that. Like, why shouldn't she have dug the hole? Like, yes, that house collapsed, but when we were following the electricity, nothing came of that. We still don't know where the hell the electricity come from. But then I was like, okay, you know what? This is a callback to alert the audience that this was the voice on the radio. I simultaneously kind of don't know why Jim didn't run, but I feel like maybe he didn't realize this was a creature because obviously it's daytime. But yes, the creature, the man in yellow, ends up ripping Jim's throat out and he dies. And shout out to the actress playing Julie because her little scream and all that stuff when her dad died. Baby, it was some good acting. But I will say, I wonder, why did the creature go after Jim? Like, why did he want Jim? You're a creature in the daytime. You literally could kill anybody. Why kill Jim? Like, why go after him? I also question, is Jim actually dead? Because of course we know that Julie can go through that archway and like kind of travel. So is this her in the mix of traveling and like she's seen what happened to him, but he's not actually dead yet when she comes out of the archway? But I more so just want to know, so are all the creatures going to be able to come out in daylight now? Will only this creature be able to come out in daylight? Will the talisman stop this creature from being able to get at us inside of our homes? Like, does this change the rules in any way? So ultimately, from episode 10 gave us a few answers. We know what became of Fatima's pregnancy. We know that the creatures cannot die. They will just be born again. Just, you know, the woman just has no control of her body. She just gonna bear the damn child, I guess. We also know that Julie is a story walker. We officially, even though we knew, but we officially know that Jade is Christopher. We know that Tabitha is Miranda. And I'm interested if she is going to share that she is Miranda with Victor and Henry. But we also know now, and Kui means remember. But I just kind of feel like, baby, you put us through all this for us to remember. Baby, y'all could have been. Look, kids, do you want help or not? We know that Tabitha and Jade in a past life were a couple. They were here from the beginning. They had a child together. Their child is one of the kids that were sacrificed, even though I'm still unclear on how their child could be sacrificed if they didn't sacrifice it. Like, what's the deal? You get eternal life if you just sacrifice a child? Like, it didn't have to be your child? Like, let me know in the comments, guys, how did you feel about this episode? How did you feel about the season finale? Did you love it? Were you satisfied? What were your favorite moments? What were your favorite parts of the finale? My number one favorite part was the triple double OG Sarah. Okay, baby, let me tell you, y'all, Sarah need to be walking down the street. Sarah been living in isolation, walking around with her head down. Baby, Sarah need to walk through the streets proud with her head up. The triple double OG, that was absolutely my favorite part. I have been saying for the longest. Okay, Sarah Hive unite. Thank you so much for being here and supporting the channel. I will see you in the next one. Thank you.